I've talked a lot on my channel before about how much I adore Roald Dahl. I mean, he is my favorite. He was my favorite. He's my favorite children's author, and still ranks my favorite authors of all time. And he's, as I said before in many of my videos, he has influenced some of the greatest creative minds in the film industry. Tim Burton and Wes Anderson being two examples. Even Hayao Miyazaki admits has admitted he likes some of Roald Dahl's stories, more so the adult ones. But, so, yet again I'm here to do another review of one of Dahl's books, and this one's perhaps one of his most underrated ones. It was released just around the same time as Fantastic Mr. Fox, but this one isn't really talked as much. And, well, considering how much Fantastic Mr. Fox is a classic, I think I can see why. And that is The Magic Finger. Now, this was, as I said before, this was released just before Fantastic Mr. Fox during the 1960s, right around the same time Dahl was focusing on writing movie scripts and dealing with the tragedies that were happening with his family at that time. I'm not sure when this came out. I think maybe this originally came out maybe 1964. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, this is my review of what I've got here. So let's start. So the story is a young girl lives next door to a bunch of hunters known as the Gregs. The girl hates the hunters, so she ends up inflicting a curse on them with what? Her magic finger. You see, whenever she gets cross, her finger ends up creating a curse on whoever is making her angry. It's uncontrollable. She even once accidentally turned a teacher into a cat. In this, and she even remained a cat. I love stuff like that in a way. This is very similar to Pinocchio with the Pleasure Island stuff. But anyway, so this affects not only the father and his sons, but also the mother. What has happened? Well, at first, the finger affects their aiming when it comes to killing some ducks. For the next moment, they wake up and they're as small as birds. They even have wings instead of arms. The family the Gregs take advantage of it first and start flying around. But then when all of a sudden they spot human-sized ducks walking into their house and taking over everything, leaving the family homeless. And all alone and afraid. Will they eventually return to their normal selves and get the ducks out of the house? I'm not going to spoil it, but knowing Dahl, it's got a decent ending. So let's start with the pros. I will say this: I will say the ending is a very nice ending. I think it ended pretty well. As I said, the whole considering where the backstory of the Magic Finger went, when the girl was explaining everything, I wouldn't consider it the best. Maybe this story is the reason why in the 1990 film The Witches, they changed it from a bittersweet ending into an actual good ending. Maybe they got inspired by this. I don't know. Well, of course, this isn't the original version. This is more of a modern one. The illustrations done by Quentin Blake are absolutely amazing. I mean, Quentin's a really great illustrator and did really well for Dahl's books. I love the illustrations here. I know it's all in black and white, but it still is pretty good. Dahl's storytelling is also still as perfect as ever. I find there's a lot of humor in this one, mostly involving the ducks and the finger and stuff like that. But yeah, this has got a few laughs, and yeah, it's pretty good. And of course, I actually do love the ducks. The whole ducks thing. That actually is my favorite part in it. I just love the ducks. But this is definitely, as I said, this isn't really one of Dahl's most well-known works, considering it was released around the same time as Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I can see why. This is probably one of his more weakish stories, at least in my view. I still think it's really good, but I do have problems. The story, let's be honest, is formulaic, especially in modern times. I mean, back then in the 60s, maybe it was fine because I'm not sure how many books did this sort of story, but nowadays it does show its age. The Gregg family themselves are a bit too bland. That you know what's going to happen to them. You don't really, you just read about them, but you don't really care for them and whether they get out of the situation that they're stuck in. The environmental message, yeah, I find it ordinary, and to be honest, I think we can all see it coming. But my biggest problem is this: despite being called the Magic Finger, you don't hear about the Magic Finger that much. It's all about the Curse of the Gregg family. In fact, they should, instead of calling Magic Finger, call it Curse of the Greggs. I don't know. I would have liked a bit more of the Magic Finger. Maybe it was something what they could have done. What Dahl could have done is tell a story about just this girl who all of a sudden has the Magic Finger and starts inflicting it on people who made her bad. Something like that. I don't know. I would have liked a bit more action from the Magic Finger in it. And it hints at the end that she's about to use it again on a different family. But I don't know. Would have liked a bit more of it. In fact, I'm sure most kids would have liked a bit more of the finger. I'm not saying inappropriate though. But anyway, regardless, The Magic Finger is still a good book, and I'd say fans of Roald Dahl should give it a go. It's not his best work, but either way, it's a really good book, and definitely worth your time to take a look. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 half stars. It's not my favourite, but it's definitely a good read. With that, maybe it's time to move back onto some video game reviews. But of course, one thing that is coming out next week is the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I am going to review that, don't worry. And there is something else I might also be doing, a bit of a collab video. So, just wait and see. In the meantime, Hazmat Reviews is out. Catch you later. Ciao.